Indeedy. Probably shouldn't have started the cast like that. Right, hello ladies and gentlemen. This is a tutorial cast on Ashe. I'm going to briefly run through all of the aspects a beginner might need to play this champion successfully in League of Legends. Okay, starting off, we are on the map Summoner's Rift, and as an Ashe, who is a long-ranged carry, she is a popular pick for middle lane. If you look at the way Summoner's Rift is split up, you have 3 lanes. You have the top lane, which is here, the middle lane, which is here, and the bottom lane, which is here. Ashe normally goes in the mid lane.
No.
So the tutorial will focus on middle lane with Ashe.
You're lying.
Ashe has 4 abilities. She has Frost Shot, Volley, Hawk Shot, and Enchanted Crystal Arrow. The first ability, Frost Shot, costs 8 mana per attack, but slows her target by 15% for 2 seconds. So I'm just going to pop that on Frost Shot, and this is a toggled ability, which means you have to press it and you should get this outline, this shine around it, and that will tell you that the ability is activated. And now if I fire, I will slow the Alistar, and his movement will be slowed by 15%. If I attack him normally, this won't apply. So if you're wondering why not just keep that ability on, it's because it costs mana, and early game that will drain your mana reserves. So it's important to toggle that ability on when you're about to go in for attack, and the slow will be beneficial. Ashe's second ability is called Volley, and it is an AoE damage spell, as you've just seen there. It's very easy to hit, and is used to harass the enemy. So one other thing that is beneficial about Volley, and maybe a reason why you could choose to level that ability second, is because it applies Frost Shot. So if you have a level 1 or higher invested in Frost Shot already, Volley will apply that to any enemies, including minions, without you having to toggle the Frost Shot ability. You can leave that off and it will automatically apply it to its arrows. Ashe's third ability is called Hawk Shot, and that basically reveals an area around Ashe. If you have a look at this blue circle, that is the range of Hawk Shot, and as you level that ability, this range increases. You can fire it over brush which houses hidden enemies. So if there was an enemy in this brush, you can see there's sparkly effects there. That will reveal them and allow me to know that there's an enemy waiting to kill me. Very useful ability. Not quite level 6. At level 6, Ashe gains her ultimate ability, which is her 4th and final ability, called Enchanted Crystal Arrow. That ability does a lot of damage, and also stuns the target depending on how far the arrow has travelled. If you can get it on its pretty much a very long range, you will stun the target for a maximum of 3.5 seconds, and also apply an AoE slow around the target if you hit other champions. I will show you that ability once I hit 6. C-Zone, do you have anything to add to? Am I missing anything?
Well, Ashe normally doesn't play mid.
Well, we're talking about low yellow. She is
yeah, okay. If
mid.
You're a beginner, you should probably play her mid, but normally in like higher level games, she plays bot with a support champion.
True, very true. But mid game, she's a viable mid because she's a ranged carry. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think she's one of the most. She has one of the longest ranges. Caitlyn beats her, I think. Tristana. Other than that, maybe Cookmo with his W, but other than that, I don't think anyone outranges her. I could be wrong now.
Yeah, she's got a decent range. Do you have anything to add on the abilities like Hawkshot's passive, you gain 1 extra gold whenever she kills a
don't
unit.
do it at level 1. It's not worth it, if you're wondering.
Right, okay, yeah, so basically, if you get Hawkshot, it's got passive, what's called a passive and an active. A passive is something that is available all the time. You don't have to click the ability to gain the benefits of a passive. So every time I kill a unit, because I've got Hawkshot level 1, I'll gain 1 extra gold from killing that unit. The active is obviously the hawk, which I showed you earlier on, where I fire a hawk over some brush or an area you want to reveal and and see. Ashe doesn't. Her passive. Every character in the League of Legends has a passive. Ashe has a passive called Focus, and basically increases her critical strike chance by 6% every 3 seconds when she's not attacking. So if you do not attack an enemy for a few seconds, your critical strike chance will increase. You can view your current critical strike by double clicking on the champion info on the face picture there. Well, single clicking actually. And you can look at your critical strike, which at the minute mine is 100% because of my passive is built up and I've not attacked for a certain amount of time. So if I run and hit Alistair now, it will crit. And you'll see it say critical 96 damage.
96.
Impressive amount of damage there. So basically, if I look again, my crit chance is only 14% now, but you can see it's slowly rising by 6 every 3 seconds. So it's important to know for Ashe, because it's a very good passive and works well with items that have extra crit damage like the Infinity Edge. So this is, I'm just going to display my enchanted crystal arrow. I'm going to fire it in this line. If I select it, the first press will reveal this sort of...
I'll try and stand still.
This icon. And you have to fire it, click it again to fire the arrow at your target. And it does a lot of damage, and an AoE slow. All the creeps around that Alistair there were slowed for about 3 seconds. It also has a stun on the champion that you hit. Because I was relatively close to Alistair there, it only stunned him for about 2 seconds. You can get further away, right down into your summoner's pool and launch the arrow. And
does it have a range? I'm quite sure it doesn't.
The range on the arrow is infinite, but you don't have to be massively far away to gain the full 3.5 second stun. You could be relatively close and get the 3.5 seconds, but basically keep in mind that you don't want to be firing that arrow at point blank, because you will get a very small stun. You want to get a bit of distance between your enemy and then fire it as long as you can hit. Okay, so that's the summoner spells pretty much covered. The basic
hero spells.
Yeah, the hero spells, I apologise. Yeah, the summoner... No, we'll go on to that later. Basically, the concept of the game, when the game starts, is to, like I say, get in your lane, and you have these minions, what are called minions, these little guys here, with the shields and mage staffs and things like that, and your job is to basically last hit these to get gold. If I attack a full health minion, if I just attack that one there and hit that, 72 damage above its head there, I don't gain any benefit from that. I don't gain any HP or money or anything, but if I attack it when it's just about to die, just before it dies, and get the killing blow, I will get gold, that plus 18G that you've just seen there. So that is called last hitting, ladies and gentlemen, and you have to sort of run around and last hit these creeps. You can use your spells to get them lower and then last hit them.
Yeah, you might want to explain the reason for last hitting. I could do that.
Yeah.
Basically, why you don't just attack them, making sure you get the last hits as well, is that if you keep attacking, which I'll do now, or Grey Knight can do it, you get all the way to their tower, and under the tower it's really easy for the other person to farm, plus the fact that you can get ganked really easily if you're next to the enemy tower.
Right, okay, so if you want to push my lane, that is called pushing the lane. If you auto attack the creeps constantly and don't last hit, you'll get what's happening now. His creeps are near my tower, this base defense building now, which is attacking them, and this makes Alistair vulnerable because he has to get under that tower to attack the creeps. So I can ult him,
and I just attack you to demonstrate the point,
and he's going to take some extra damage from the tower. And he has died. Now if he wasn't under the tower and he had attacked me, he quite possibly could have killed me, but because he was in tower range, he was vulnerable. Yes. So don't push your lanes, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does the enemy are you forced to get in tower range and have to be wary of the tower. If you're about where I am now, it's quite possible for an enemy to come from a top lane here or bottom lane here to mid lane without your knowledge, and they will hide in this brush here. This green grass gives you a character stealth and you won't be able to see them. So if you look at Ashe now, she's sort of faded out. She's clear there and now she's faded. It's because she's in stealth. No one can see me unless they're stood in this brush as well. So you can hide here and attack from this direction and surprise a summoner that's in mid and pushed up too far. See, currently I'm pushed up too far, so if you want to demonstrate a gank right now, well done, Alistair. There we go. So right, Alistair's come out and he's pushed me further than I want to be and he's got the kill. That is called a gank. It's usually done by a summoner from a different lane, so either top lane or bottom lane or a jungler.
But jungling, you shouldn't jungle when you're not level 30. Just saying.
Yeah, jungling is basically, I mentioned earlier that there's 3 lanes, top, middle and bottom, but there's also these jungle creeps in the jungle. Certain champions can basically not go in a lane and basically just kill these creeps, which is known as jungling. There is a guide available on gr.com. I will not go into jungling too much because that will extend this guide more than it needs to be, but basically they're good for attacking from those hidden positions from the tall grass, so you need to be careful of them. Right, okay, so Alistair has destroyed my tower, so I have no tower to protect me in the middle lane. So as you're in the middle lane, you want to last hit minions to get gold, which is one of the objectives. Another objective is to destroy the middle lane, the opposition's middle lane tower. So Alistair, the enemy here, which is this big mad cow with the horns, has achieved that objective. He has killed my tower, so now I'm defenseless. He can come in and attack me now. Come and kill me. I'm completely defenseless. I'm not got a tower. It's him versus me.
But, and the thing is, you can slow me and run away, but you're not doing that, so I just kill you.
Yeah, so Alistair has just killed me now because I've not got the tower to defend me, so it's important to take down that tower if possible. That is another objective of middle lane. So just to summarise, we have last hitting and to destroy the opponent's team tower. Now you may ask that if you can only last hit and you don't want to push your lane, how do you destroy the tower? Well, I will explain that right now. Right, if you could stay where you are so you don't go in tower range now, because I need you live and kicking. So I'm going to explain what harassment is. Your third and final objective is, well, not final objective, your third objective in middle lane is to harass, and basically that is to, because you're not hitting these minions constantly, you're only last hitting, you're pretty much free to what's called harass the enemy, which is to auto attack them and use your abilities on them as much as possible. So I'm attacking Alistair now and just whittling down his HP as much as possible and ignoring the minions, only last hitting the minions when they're on low HP. So I'm still getting that gold, I'm still getting the experience, but I'm also damaging the enemy at the same time. Now if things go wrong for Alistair, and it's going to take too long because you're Alistair. If you want to kill me instead, if things go wrong, they can push the lane. So we're pretty much fair where we are. So no, let me demonstrate it on you. I'm going to harass you down to low HP. Whilst trying
I'll
to
let the minions
hit as well.
help.
Yeah. So some sort of excessive harassment going on there, basically. But eventually, if things go well, you can kill the enemy team member, and this is when you can push your lane. Because there's nobody in your lane to defend that tower, he is now dead and has to wait to respawn. You can now safely push with your minions and auto attack the tower, doing 53 damage at this current time. To check your enemy's status, simply press the tab key and you see a number ticking down by their name. That is their death respawn counter, so they will be up, alive and kicking when that disappears. Currently he has 1 second left, and now he's back in the game. So while that's ticking down, I'm safe, but when that goes, I need to be careful again because he's going to be on his way back mid. But I've successfully pushed down this tower, so if he does return to middle, we're at even footing because he doesn't have a tower to protect him, and neither do I. Just as a note, guys, that while you are here, you still are vulnerable to ganks from top or bottom lanes, as well as the jungler. So while you are auto attacking that tower, just do be careful that there are enemy champions in both the top and bottom lane. So that's how you kill towers, that is how you harass the enemy, and how you last hit. Generally speaking, it's easier to harass an enemy if you're a ranged champion, because I can just kite Alistair. I can run away when he gets too close into his auto attack damage. I can simply back off and run away, and he can't get to me.
I'm too quick though because I have boots.
Yeah, he has boots.
But normally you'd like kite me and I couldn't come close enough.
So generally speaking, harassment. This is why you take a ranged champion for the middle lane, because they're really good at harassing.
I wanted to try that come up.
Yeah, I've no items, so you're just doing loads of damage and I'm not really doing much damage at all. So with another objective, which is going on to a bit more complicated now. They're the basics that you need. Another objective is basically to look after your side lanes. Now the middle lane is the middle lane, and the top and bottom are called side lanes, and because you're in the middle and have a better view than everyone else, it is important for you to protect your side lanes. So if somebody leaves your lane, like if Alistair left my lane and disappeared and we didn't know where he is, it's common courtesy to call Mia, which is basically missing in action. Just type Mia
or
middle
SS.
Or SS if you're in Europe.
Oh,
and that means missing in action. That will let people on your team, because this is a team game, ladies and gents, know that Alistair's missing, so he can't run bottom like he is now and gank my teammates and do lots of damage.
If you're wondering where they are, they're dead.
They're dead, yeah. Alistair's killed them. Let's look at their respawn time. Right, so anything else we need to cover, Zizo?
Cross map ultimates, maybe?
Right, okay, so I'm just gonna be back to base. I'm gonna show him the sort of escape mechanisms, because I think it's important for Ashe.
Oh yeah, some of the spells might be a good idea to cover.
Yeah, I'll cover that just after this.
Okie dokie.
With Ashe and every champion, it's easy to go on the aggression. You can press your Q and slow the enemy and just auto attack, but when things go wrong and you want to escape, you want to use these certain escape mechanisms to get back to your tower and get into safety. It's easy. You're not making this very easy. So a slow is a natural escape mechanism, so if you can attack just once with one auto attack, that will slow him and give you a good opportunity to run away. Volley, don't forget, also applies your frost shot and will apply that slow as well if you don't want to press the Q and auto attack. Keep in mind that volley has a longer range than your auto attack, so if you don't want to get too close, you can harass and easily apply that slow at range by using volley. Another escape mechanism is the stun on your enchanted crystal arrow. If I'm being chased, I can use that stun and run away, freezing the enemy temporarily and allowing me to apply either volley or frost shot to apply the slow. Ashe really doesn't have great escape mechanisms, but her escape mechanisms are basically centered around the slow from frost shot, volley, as well as the stun and slow from her ultimate. So keep that in mind. Now I don't have my ultimate available, I only have the slow from frost shot and volley available to me, so I'm quite vulnerable now.
Luckily I was low health.
And Alistair was low health, so died there. But when your ultimate is down, ladies and gents, you don't have that stun, which is a powerful escape mechanism.
Yeah, well, talking about escape mechanisms, your summoner spells are really important if you're a ranged carry. Now, on the lower levels you don't have flash yet. I'm quite sure that's the last spell you unlock.
Yeah.
But you need flash as soon as you can select it. And Ghost is a solid other choice. That's what most people run on ranged carries. Because the other summoner spells are really useful, but not on a ranged carry, because you want to be able to get away. Ashe is one of the better champions at getting away, because you can kite for free, basically. Well, for 8 mana per attack, I think it was.
Yeah.
So Ashe has a slightly easier way to get away than, for example, given Cockmaul. But you still really want Ghost and Flash on her, because you probably be the person that gets focused, and because you do the most damage usually, so you want to be able to get away. That's very important.
And what he means by summoner spells is these two things next to your
that thing.
ability. These abilities that we've been talking about, next to them is 2 summoner spells. Currently I have a summoner spell called Teleport and one called Flash. Summoner spells are unlocked as you level up. Some of the early summoner spells are spells like Heal and Exhaust, and they're relatively useful for escaping and healing yourselves. I won't really go into too much detail about summoner spells, but basically as you level up you can get the more powerful summoner spells. Teleport is useful on Ashe because you can do this. I'm just gonna teleport back to base. You can fire your arrow if you want to move back back a bit. You can fire your arrow and then teleport in on a minion. So my arrow will hit Alistair, get the full 3.5 second stun, and I'm there ready to attack him. So that's good synergy with my summoner spells. Now Flash is a defensive or offensive summoner spell and allows me to...
Just showed him the offensive one.
allows me to...
I like that combo so much.
He does like that combo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to go heal up. You can heal up on this summoner pad. If you press B to return to base to recall, that will teleport you back to your base after an 8-second channel. At base in this summoner well, you can regenerate health and mana. So I'm just going to show Flash. Flash is the last summoner spell unlocked and is most powerful. I'll show why. If I'm in trouble and he stuns me, I can escape by pressing Flash and you will literally flash away.
Another useful thing to know about that spell is that you can flash over walls, and basically every wall, almost every wall in the game is flashable. And if you flash over a wall, obviously they have something in the way of killing you.
Do you have flash up or not?
3 minutes.
Okay, we'll just...
I had to show the offensive flash. No, I didn't have the mana for my ultimate.
Sorry. Right. I think we've basically covered everything. We've covered the summoner spells, we've covered the abilities, the passive, what some of the spells I'll talk about in the actual post that go well with Ashe. Is there anything that we're missing? Items. Item build is important. As you get gold, you can spend that on your items, and now you get what is called recommended items from the shop here.
Agreed.
If you look at this guy here selling stuff, if you right click him or click the green icon down there, you get this bar here called recommended items. Now these are what the developers of the game recommend for getting with Ashe, and are fairly decent items for that champion. As you get more experience, you will generally have your own personal builds that you will personally use. Like personally, I don't use the Last Whisper for Ashe. I will build a different item, but generally speaking, they are quite effective. You generally want to start the game with a Doran's Blade or Boots of Mobility and some health pots, which is what I'm going to buy. Boots of Speed, sorry, Boots of Speed.
Not really the start of the game, but yes.
If you click on consumables and then health potion, you at the start of the game will be able to buy 3 health potions and Boots of Speed. This allows you to move really fast, and as we said earlier, with Ashe, with your Q, you have a slow. Combine that with your Boots of Speed. If you slow the enemy and then run back, you can constantly kite them, and they will never catch you in a million years. You can just keep doing that, and that is generally what you can do with Ashe.
Oh, Phil. Oh, another thing you might want to know: don't do this.
And don't go onto the enemy summoner spell thing, because you die quite horribly like that, and the enemy can teabag you like that /D, and that's how to teabag.
Yes.
right, yeah. So we
but good enough.
generally item builds. So there are items that are split into different things. There's defense, attack, magic, movement, and consumables. Generally speaking, with Ashe, you want to be focusing on the attack section, because this splits into damage, critical strike, attack speed, and lifesteal. Damage, because you are Ashe and a ranged champion, you will be dealing a lot of damage if you collect damage items that are best on you. So items like the Infinity Edge.
The Infinity Edge is a must on Ashe.
Yes.
If you don't build that, you're doing it wrong, basically.
Yeah, so very good item. It will increase your attack damage, so every time you right click and fire an arrow that hits the enemy, you will do more damage. If you have a look down here, I've got my attack is 178 now because I've bought the Infinity Edge, so it's increased by a large amount, so I will do more damage to the enemy. So if I click on damage, all of these items will increase my damage, and there are various prices going from most expensive at the bottom to the cheapest at the top. So obviously Infinity Edge is £3,830 or gold, and that's a lot of money, so it would take a long time a lot of last hits and a lot of gold to farm that up. But Infinity Edge is
Attack me and chase
made
me,
from a
please.
recipe. It's made from these 3 items here. That's the Infinity Edge, and under that are 3 items, and that's the recipe needed to make the Infinity Edge. So if you have all 3 items,
okay,
you can click and buy the Infinity Edge for a small fee. So a BF sword is an attack damage item, a pickaxe is also an attack damage item, and a cloak of agility is a critical strike item. So we've gone over damage. Basically that increases the amount of damage each arrow does, and critical strike will increase the amount of the chance to critical strike, or the damage of critical strike. And basically what that is, everyone has a chance to do, I think it's 200% damage, so double damage.
200 damage unless you get your Infinity Edge, then you get 250.
Yeah.
Also, attack me, I can show flash.
So basically you do, yeah, okay, if you want to flash over the wall then.
Yeah.
This is basically flashing over the wall. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm chasing Alistar, and he's used the flash ability to disappear over that wall.
Right here.
Hello.
Hello.
And that can be used defensively to escape the enemy, because he's going to kill me now, so I'm just going to defensively flash over that wall.
No, I can't see you. Where are you?
basically, when you press flash, it will activate where your cursor is. So you want your cursor on the other side of the wall before you press it, otherwise you will flash to where your cursor is. So make sure you keep that in mind. So he's gonna kill me. No, go away. There we go. There's the escape mechanism in this is gonna end before I'm finished. I'm
too good.
Right, yeah. Good game, C-Zone, good game. Alright, I think we've covered enough for the...
Yeah, say GG at the end, don't be a dick like me.
Yeah, good game, GG stands for good game, which is always good to put at the end.